The human female reproductive system. The human female reproductive system consists of the ovaries, oviducts, also known as the fallopian tubes, the uterus, cervix, vagina, and the external genitalia. These are the external genitalia consisting of the clitoris and the labia minora and labia majora. These are the folds of skin that cover the opening into the vagina. There's the outer skin, the labia majora, and the smaller inner fold of skin known as the labia minora. So they cover the opening into the vagina. So these are the components of the female reproductive system. The two oviducts, that is the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, the uterus, the vagina. Now, between the uterus and the vagina, there is a narrow neck or opening known as the cervix. Then the vagina opens to the exterior, and the opening is covered by folds of skin. The inner smaller known as the labia minora and the outer larger known as the labia majora. Then just above the vaginal opening, there is a tissue, an erectile tissue known as the clitoris. The urethra, that is through which urine is passed out from the urinary bladder, is located between the clitoris and the vaginal opening. That is in the female. So in the female, you see that the urethra, this is the urethra that carries urine from the urinary bladder, is separate from the reproductive system, unlike in the male where the urethra has a dual function of carrying the male gametes and also carrying urine. In the female, the urethra carries just the urine from the urinary bladder. Now, let us discuss the various components of the female reproductive system using this illustration here. So, basically, this is the position of the female reproductive system within the body of a human female. We start by talking about the ovaries. There are two ovaries. The left ovary and the right ovary. The ovaries are oval in shape and they measure between 3 to 5 centimeters long and 2 to 3 centimeters wide. They lie on either side of the pelvic cavity and are attached by connective tissues to the body wall. The functions of the ovaries are: 1. Production of the female gametes, known as the ova or eggs, and 2. Production of female sex hormones such as estrogen and progesterone. The fallopian tubes, also known as the oviducts, are muscular tubes about 10 to 12 centimeters long. They have a funnel-shaped opening with feathery processes known as fimbriae. So these are the processes known as the fimbriae. The fimbriae increase the surface area for capturing ova when released from the ovary, so that when the the ovary releases an ovum. These expanded and increase the surface area for capturing these gametes. The walls of the tubes are lined with mucus. Secreted by the secretory or glandular cells that make up the wall. Also, the inner lining consists of ciliated epithelium. You have a ciliated epithelium that help the egg to move towards the uterus by peristalsis and the ciliary beatings that push the mucus. So the lining is glandular that produces mucus. The lining is also ciliated that has cilia. So when an ovum is produced, it is pushed towards the uterus by the muscular contractions of the fallopian tube that produces peristalsis, and also there is a ciliary beating, the ciliary beatings that push the mucus together with the ova towards the uterus. The uterus is a thick-walled muscular organ that is about 5 to 7 centimeters long. It is 5 to 7 centimeters long and about 5 centimeters at its widest. It is about the size and shape of an inverted pear. It lies behind the urinary bladder and it is held in position by ligaments joined to the hip bone. The wall of the uterus consists of 3 layers. You can see when you expand these ones here, consists of 3 layers, namely the outermost layer known as the perimetrium. It consists of connective tissues. Then there's a middle layer known as the myometrium that consists of smooth muscles that contract during birth. And then the innermost layer is known as endometrium. The endometrium contains glands and many blood vessels. The endometrium increases in thickness in preparation for the fertilized ovum. If there is no fertilization, part of the endometrium breaks down and is passed out as menstrual flow. So when there is no fertilization, parts of the endometrium breaks down and is passed out as menstrual flow. The endometrium provides the site for the embryo's growth and development during pregnancy. The cervix is a ring of muscles at the entrance to the uterus. It is normally blocked by a plug of mucus. This is a cervix. It is normally blocked by a plug of mucus. The function of the cervix is that it controls what enters and what leaves the uterus. Then there's a vagina. The vagina is a muscular tube that is about 8 to 20 centimeters long. The walls of the vagina contains elastic tissues. The wall also has smooth muscles, and the inner membrane has mucus secreting membrane. The function of the vagina is that it accommodates the penis during sexual intercourse. It also provides the passage of the baby during birth, and for this reason, the vagina is also known as the birth canal. Now, the external genitalia, that is the clitoris, and the 2 folds of skin that make up the vulva, do not play any direct role in reproduction. Even though the clitoris is just like the penis in that it has erectile tissue and can become erect when sexually aroused. While the vulva, that is the labia minora and labia majora, have glands in the inner lining which release mucus when a woman is sexually aroused. This helps to lubricate the penis during sexual intercourse.